The internet's most disturbing cult. Let me see what this is about, man.
I have researched a lot of dark topics for this channel, but the stuff towards the end of this video is disturbing to the point where it was difficult for me to deal with, so please consider this a warning. Today, we are covering the internet cult 764, which is known to do things so horrific that they are classified as a terrorist organization by the US government. Right now, every single FBI field office is hunting for the cult leaders, and there are more than 250 ongoing FBI investigations. This is truly an unending rabbit hole, and it reveals what may be the most depraved and evil organization ever born from the internet.
Oh, shit.
This is the emerging story of Cult 764. In order to better understand what has happened in the past couple years, we first need to trace the origins of the 764 network and talk about the founder who put all of this into motion in the first place. Everything started when Bradley
I guarantee you it was a Discord nigga too, bro. 100% guarantee it. I guarantee you it was a Discord nigga that started it too, bro. 100%. 100%. A Discord nigga. Watch.
A 15-year-old from Texas became involved with a Discord server named
Hey man, listen. Shout out to all the niggas that like run Discord servers and do all the Discord shit but are not weird though. Cause y'all niggas get put into a bad group. Y'all are grouped with some bad niggas, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all are grouped with some bad niggas. Damn, Leek. What the fuck you mean, damn, Leek? Like I just run some damn Discord servers. Motherfucker, all I know how to do in there is damn type. And probably kick a nigga out. What is LSQ? Actually, buddy, LSQ is a group ran server. I don't just run no just regular out-of-stream Discord server. Besides mine or LSQ, bro. You feel me?
Cult. This server is important because it inspired Bradley to create 764 a few months later, and it also introduced him to certain strategies on how to exploit other children. He learned much of this knowledge from Rohan, who was the founder of the cult server and also a master manipulator. He would recruit minors who he considered to be vulnerable on Instagram and Roblox, and then he would pretend to be in a romantic relationship with them in order to obtain nude photos, addresses, and other personal information. As soon as
See, bro, that's one main reason, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you could probably go into a mic up on Roblox right now and find somebody that secretly does that, but you would never know. You could probably run into one every single day that you're on Roblox and talking to them niggas. But you never know. You genuinely never know, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like after a certain age, man, I feel like Roblox is one of those games where it's like, okay, if you really, and I mean absolutely really have nothing to play, then you just play it. But I wouldn't say go on there, going on mic up, trying to talk to niggas and make friends and do this, that, and the third. Me personally. You know, because it's never worth getting into whatever they be getting into, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's not worth getting into whatever they get into, because you start becoming friends with them niggas, they start inviting you to Discord servers, you start getting in calls with them niggas, and now you probably end up seeing stuff like this. Feel me? What's going on, 2K?
And Roblox, and then he would pretend to be in a romantic relationship with them in order to obtain nude photos, addresses, and other personal information. As soon as he obtained that first piece of leverage, he knew that he had complete control, and literally began referring to his victims.
Who is Jones Barbecue? Who is that? Jones BBQ foot massage.
To other personal information. As soon as he obtained that first piece of leverage, he knew that he had complete control, and literally began referring to his victims using the word slaves from that point onward. He'd blackmail them into live streaming degrading acts such as harming themselves and creating CP, but the true nature of this is not covered until the final chapters of this video. The relevant thing to know right now is that Rohan seemed to view grooming as a form of entertainment, and he derived great pleasure from watching them suffer. As he explained it, quote, "My ultimate goal is to create an endless supply of masochistic people to satisfy my sadism, and my cult is existing for that very reason." In the same message, he boasted about how everything he did was legal, and also explained that he didn't care about blackmail being unethical. He said, "We lack morals and ethics as we think they are not necessary." According to his nihilistic ideology in the cult server, ethics were seen as a weakness that needed to be eliminated from everybody. It seemed the many other members of the server agreed, including Bradley, whose mental state was now deteriorating rapidly. Bradley had become absolutely consumed by the cult server, and during the pandemic in 2020 and early 2021, he literally never left his house, where, quote, "his room, the bathroom, and the online chat room was his entire existence." He became fully immersed, slowly.
That's why y'all gotta start getting outside, bro. That's why y'all gotta start getting outside. Listen, to all my niggas that's even if y'all don't have people to talk to in real life, whether y'all don't have family to hang with in real life, staying in the damn house, bro. I'm just genuinely just not in the damn. If I was in the damn house every day, wouldn't y'all think I'd start stream earlier? Come on, bro. Let's be honest. Let's keep it real. Wouldn't y'all think I would just start stream earlier if I was in the house all day? You know what I'm saying?
Transforming from a kid who never missed church to an abuser who made blood oaths to Satan. Bradley was already
got the hairball in the corner. Nigga, what the fuck? What the hell are you talking about? Bro, I ain't gonna lie, but as I was saying though, make sure y'all just get outside, man. Even if it's just y'all going outside for a damn run. Soaking in the sun, taking in the vitamin C. You know what I'm saying? And letting your mind just go somewhere else than playing Roblox and just sitting in your damn chair and having swamp ass and shit. You can do a lot much better things, bro. Trust. And you won't get into doing things like this and falling deep into rabbit holes like this.
His room, the bathroom, and the online chat room was his entire existence. He became fully immersed, slowly transforming from a kid who never missed church to an abuser who made blood oaths to Satan. Bradley was already a troubled teen prior to his engagement in any of this though, as he was relentlessly bullied as a child, and he even threatened to become a school shooter. His parents got divorced, and it is suspected that his mother abused him, although this is...
The son don't give vitamin, well, you give something.
His parents got divorced, and it is child and his engagement in any of this though, as he was relentlessly bullied as a child, and he even threatened to become a school shooter. His parents got divorced, and it is suspected that his mother abused him, although this is unconfirmed. In middle school, his teacher overheard him repeatedly talking about bombs and weapons, and he was seen repeatedly watching extreme gore videos using the school computers. This escalated to the point where he was actually charged with making terroristic threats, and he was put on juvenile detention for a period of 1 year. All of that backstory is to say, when Bradley eventually joined...
Holy shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Vitamin Daquan. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Later on in the future, when y'all have kids, and, you know, first and foremost, I know it's all men in here. Number one, make sure y'all not no deadbeat fathers. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all always there in y'all kids' life, bro. Even if y'all do want, like, either if y'all want kids, don't want kids, whatever, you know? It's y'all life. But, say for example, y'all do have kids. What you mean, fuck that baby? Yo, bro, hold on, man. Listen. I'm trying to be on my motivational tip, bro. You know, we gotta motivate everybody, especially the YouTube watchers and all types of stuff. Feel me? What if I ain't know he was mine, motherfucker? Then why are you just going around just shooting shit into women, my nigga? Why you just going around just you feel me? Unprotected, nigga. You know I'm a proud feminist around here, you feel me? So make sure you locked in with the right one before you just Clay from the 3. Hold on, Brody. Let me get my motivational talk off first. Alright. Anyway, as I was saying, look, make sure y'all know who y'all really having kids with. That's number one. Once y'all have the kid though, right? Boom. Say for example, once y'all have the kid. I want to make sure y'all always in that kid's life. Make sure y'all always present. Because I'm not saying that he grew up without a father figure or nothing like that. Obviously, he could have grown with a father figure, but the father figure could have treated him bad. This is the part that's really important. Make sure you treat your son. I don't know how y'all grew up, but make sure y'all treat y'all son either better, or if y'all grew up great, I say make sure y'all treat y'all son great or even better how y'all grew up, bro. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Bro, Tanker, you not scaring anyone, Brody. But make sure y'all treat y'all son amazing, man. Or daughter. Son, daughter. Anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because treating y'all son, daughter, whatever, could make them go through things like this. And then on top of that, if they get bullied at school, make sure y'all always talk to the counselor people. Make sure y'all talk to the people at school. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm going up to the school. I'll motherfucking sit in the class. If they try to mess with my damn son, I'll grab that little nigga up by his damn shirt. Have him like this. Hey, Birdie, the hell you doing? Come on, man. Because I'm not gonna lie. All of that shit, the bullying, the abusing, all that shit could grow up, make your son grow up to be just like Bradley, bro. Dead ass. All of that extra shit that goes on in his life could make your son grow up to be just like Bradley. You don't want your son growing up to be just like Bradley, man. You don't. You want to make sure your son grows up with a great mindset, a strong mindset.
For a period of 1 year.
I ain't being no damn Joseph.
All of that backstory is to say when...
You better than me, boy. Huh? You better than your brothers, your mother, me. Huh? You think you better than us?
Bradley eventually joined the cult server. He was no stranger to the graphic violence and the dehumanizing content that he found there. The thing that was new to him, though, was the extreme level of manipulation and blackmail. And that is the exact moment when he decided to start 764.
Oh, hell no.
In early 2021, Bradley, quote, stopped caring about anything, and he reached a breaking point.
Oh, no.
He had completely withdrawn from society by this time, and his only human interactions were these toxic echo chamber chat rooms with other depressed and nihilistic teenagers. He hadn't been attending school in person for a while now, but January...
If you're not talking to anybody and you're like down and depressed and things like that, you can always get out of it 100%. But I would not recommend talking to... Me personally, I feel like you can't talk to people that either worse or going through a lot of the same stuff that doesn't have a good mindset or a positive mindset of trying to get out of that. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like you can't do that, bro. I feel like they're gonna fry you even worse. They're gonna fry your brain even worse, man. Dead ass.
Teenagers. He hadn't been attending school.
Now, if you're talking to people that's going through a lot of stuff, but they're actually trying to change their life for the better, then that's different.
In person for a while now, but
you gotta pay a damn attention.
January 20.
It's the internet's most disturbing cult. That's what this video is about. It's the lore about the internet's most disturbing cult there was.
21 is when he officially dropped out of high school. Within 1 month, he had started the 764 Discord. The following events were all part of a carefully arranged plan by Bradley. He brought along all of his philosophies and the stuff he learned in the cult server, but this time, he was the leader who had all of the control. Going by the username Felix, he started setting up the server and adding a few of his friends, and then, just a short while later, 764 was officially operational. The name was based on his zip code, as these were the first 3 numbers in his hometown of Stephenville, Texas. The logo featured this number, along with some other symbols related to Satanism. It didn't look like much at the time, but this server was about to become one of the fastest growing online threats in the world, and it was all going perfectly according to Bradley's plan.
If I catch Barney in a 764 damn Discord, man, I'm coming straight to Atlanta.
If you're struggling with any of these things, please stop watching this video now and use the resources that are on screen and in the description.
Hey man, y'all heard him. If y'all going through any of these things right now, make sure you, right there, findthehelpline.com.
Please note that sensitive topics have been redacted in order to comply with all of these YouTube guidelines, policies, and also the best practices.
JFK.
I say with no exaggeration that this cult is one of the greatest dangers to kids today, and my hope is that learning about it can have a preventative effect. Parents in particular need to hear about this stuff so it can be avoided at all costs.
Facts. Video structure.
The following chapters demonstrate what it might be like to join 764, and the chapters are ordered chronologically based on what a victim might experience, starting with their recruitment, then moving to radicalization, and finally ending by covering some of the abuse and violence that typically follows. Coincidentally, by structuring the video in this way, each chapter also tends to get more and more disturbing as the video goes on.
Niggas make a show?
Level 1. Recruitment.
There's 13 levels to this whole shit. Holy shit.
You can't really be a cult leader if you don't have any cult followers. Bradley's primary focus therefore became growing his server, with the end goal of grooming and exploiting as many of his followers as possible. He started spreading.
Who just has an end goal like that though, bro? Like, who makes a server with an end goal of doing that to everybody that joins the server? What, bro?
Edgy advertisements like this one, which included multiple embarrassing spelling errors and the catchphrase, "Cause chaos with us, join today." Without any context, that almost makes it sound like he was the leader of some hidden dark web organization. Yeah. But no, it was just a Discord server in plain sight. Once we get to talking about all of the events that took place in this server, you will realize just how insane it is that this was happening on a mainstream social media platform. In fact, this was actually part of Bradley's recruitment strategy though, as by using Roblox and Discord, he was able to target kids who were just gaming and he didn't raise any suspicion. This was the ideal environment where he could befriend or love bomb them using fake identities and lure them into 764. Bradley and his group would also heavily recruit from forums related to topics like depression and bipolar disorder, as they found that these people were easier targets. Any post tagged with eating disorders also became a prime target as well, so anyone who posted something related to this was likely to be directly contacted by Bradley or a 764 member. Something that is also pretty concerning and worth mentioning is that Bradley's recruitment strategy was invisible to parents. Even if a parent looked at their kid's phone or screen time data, all they would find is regular apps and regular games. After all, there is nothing inherently bad about using.
At what age are y'all giving y'all kids a phone, man? What age did I get a phone? I think everybody always be starting with like an LG or some sort. Like, I don't think anybody, some people started off with strictly a straight iPhone. I knew a nigga that had an iPhone in like 5th grade, gang, and that was kind of crazy. I didn't get my first shit out until I was like 12 or 13, bro. Holy shit. 27, damn. I got one at 9. Holy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, first phone I got was that one, bro, where all you could play is like Tetris and shit, bro. That's all you could play on there, bro. It was one of them just straight calls. You had to get minutes on it. That's the first one I got,
mainstream social media.
At first age I'm gonna get my son or daughter a phone, I'd say 12 or 13. But I don't know, bro. If they find out how to use all the social media shit and they find out Discord, this, that, and the third. Yeah, nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to keep them niggas outside, though. I'm gonna have to keep them outside at a certain extent, though.
And a popular game.
I'm gonna have to get them off that shit by a certain time, bro, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not having them getting into no servers like this where it can just fuck their whole mentality up.
Like Roblox, which is literally marketed to children. 764 both knew this and took advantage of this, and it ended up being the key to their growth. Level 2,
I got my first
radicalization.
iPhone at 13, 14, I think.
After several months of expansion, the server was now attempting to radicalize thousands of people at once, and this actually became a problem for Bradley. These new members were starting out by seeing the most tame things that 764 had to offer, but even those things were still pretty intense. For example, they would see graphic violence, CP, and pretty awful conversations going on in every single channel. For instance, they would probably witness chats between the sadistic neo-Nazi members, who would talk about getting pleasure from watching people suffer and hating other people based on ethnicity. Bradley did his best to radicalize the new members and onboard as many of them as possible, but this was where the problem arose. So many new people had joined the server recently that some of them weren't fully on board with the disturbing content. When they saw the CP, they reported the Felix account to law enforcement and to Discord safety team. Bradley had also been posting CP and gore in another server called No Feds Paradise, and he was taunting other users who called him out for his behavior. So, as you might expect, his Felix account was quickly banned. Law enforcement didn't seem to consider him a significant threat though, and they decided to do nothing at this time.
I hate when they do that type of shit, bro. Like, how do you not concede that as a specific threat? He already was making bomb threats in school. He was already looking up gore on school Chromebooks. Talking about shooting up the school at age 13. And if y'all finding all that stuff out, y'all wouldn't try to throw this nigga in like a something, like, you know, some type of something, therapy, Arkham Asylum maybe, you know, something.
I've already been reported to the FBI.
You're just gonna say, nah, he'll grow out of it. It's just a phase. Nigga, what? It's just a phase.
And they haven't done anything,
nigga,
he said to another user. Have you seen the stuff I've been doing for almost a year now? He really thought that he could get away with it forever. At this time, Discord was probably thinking that they were slowing him down by issuing a ban.
No.
But it turned out, for Bradley, this was actually just a minor inconvenience. He opened another Discord account using a VPN and a fresh email, and he simply continued doing the same things he was already doing. In fact, he was banned hundreds of times, and by mid-2021, he was getting banned every single day on average. Reportedly, it only took him a few seconds to make these new accounts and resume his activities though, so he essentially made himself immune to the effects of being banned. To take things a step further, Bradley also formed groups on WhatsApp, Roblox, and Minecraft, and also created additional Discord servers to ensure that 764 would always survive, even if one platform caught on to them. There were also several other servers out there that had similar purposes, with names like...
Nigga, I grew up and I was scared of watching the Michael Jackson Thriller music video, bro. You think I'm gonna sit there and join a random ass team with some random ass niggas talking about gore, this, that, and the third? If I'm playing Minecraft or Roblox late at night and I'm ages, what? 10 to... I didn't really start playing online games until I was like age, like 12, I think. So, if I'm age 12 to like 14 or something like that, and I used to stay on the game, like, I remember 2K17 days, I stayed on until like 5 in the morning because it was always just niggas playing. You feel me? But if you tell me if I run into a nigga like that, bro, and he's talking about joining his squad about gore, this, that, and the third, killing, do this, that, and the third, whatever, CP, all types of strange, weird shit, nigga, I'm not talking to that nigga, bro. I'm never talking to that nigga again. I'm unfriending him. I'm running away. I'm getting the hell up on out of there, bro. I'll make sure I never run into that nigga ever again. Ever. I'm sorry.
Harm Nation, Hate, Leaks...
The Scooby-Doo movie. Yeah, this is just little shit I used to be scared of, man. So I used to be sprinting back up the stairs when it was too dark after I got off the game. Because I used to have the game downstairs. Bro, I used to be full-blown sprinting back up the stairs at 4 in the morning, bro, when everybody was asleep. Just to get back up here. You think I'm joining some random cult on video games?
Society and the Order of Nine Angles. Collectively, all of these associated communities are called the COM for short, and they were all growing rapidly. Level 3. Leverage. After getting enough people to join the 764 server, and after exposing them to the first level of radicalization, the next step in the pipeline was to gain leverage on as many new members as possible. Bradley, along with senior members of his organization, reached out and started fake friendships and even relationships with new members, similar to what happened in the cult server. The person in the online chat introduced himself as Brad. Using flattery and guile, he persuaded the 14-year-old girl to send a photo. It instantly became leverage.
I was scared to death. He would say, if you don't do this, then you don't love me.
With the leverage now obtained, 764 would begin...
Holy shit. When the Adult Swim came on, bro, and I woke up in the middle of the night and see Robot Chicken, and that's when I was still in that other room, bro, with the bunk bed. When the Adult Swim came on, man, I don't have no fucking secret Discord, nigga. What secret Discord do I fucking have? Damn it.
The blackmail. Extort her,
I don't
boys.
even be on
Do you
Discord
see her face on
unless
there?
I'm just texting in the LSQ shit. I don't even have a reason.
On the video? Because I'll send it to the school. Good. Make her suffer. Under the threat of releasing their compromising photos, 764 would eventually extort their members into doing unspeakable things. Before they could extort these most extreme actions, though, they first had to start off with the simple stuff that they considered to be tame.
Yeah,
For example,
yeah.
they would coerce victims
You had
into
no
drinking
proof.
from a toilet bowl, and one girl was
What?
forced to eat her father's ashes on video chat.
What the
The
fuck?
following screen recording shows another victim, and in this case, she was forced to cut her hair on a Discord call. 764 also considered this to be an entry-level form of blackmail. In the clip, it seems that they had previously obtained photos of her, and they were threatening to send them if she didn't comply with their demands.
Okay, get your hair. It's chopping.
Bro, this remind. Oh hell no. This should remind me of like, I don't know if y'all seen it. Y'all seen Unfriended? Was it Unfriended? And it was another one that was sort of like this. It was like a video call, and they had to do like some. They were on Skype or some shit, and they had to do certain shit. If they didn't do certain shit, then somebody like that was on the call with him was gonna come in their house and kill him or something like that. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I don't even pick up regular calls, my nigga. You think I'm gonna pick up a random call from niggas in a Discord server that I don't know at all? Fuck that. And I'm not having my kids do that either, my nigga. I'm not. I'm sorry. They not even gonna grow up on the internet. I'll have them growing up on damn TV. I'll put them on damn Bounce TV if I have to. They'll grow up on Good Times, bro, if they have to. I don't care.
Okay, get your hair. It's chopping time.
It appears that the abusers in the watch party are really entertained by this, highlighting the typical sadistic tendencies of 764.
It's so crazy, bro. Like, that shit is just weird to me, bro. That shit is just weird. Like, even if it's not even on no cult shit, bro. Just getting niggas to do shit over a call just to, like, either enter something or just, like... When you remember when Pretty Boy Fredo used to have niggas cut their hair bald for $1,000 on live and shit like that? Or, like, fucking blow their house up or something like that? Bro, and niggas would deadass do it. It's just, like, little shit like that. It's just weird to me, bro. It's weird as hell. I don't know. I don't know,
Users.
bro. To skip this section, jump to what?
Sadistic
1428.
tendencies of 764 abusers.
You have 30 seconds.
We told you what you need to do. Oh no, should we press send? Start cutting. Chop, 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 chop.
Keep going.
She then had to give an apology to each of her abusers, even though she presumably had
Fucking
nothing
pussy.
to apologize for.
Okay, I want you to take the
Fucking
hair that you
boozy.
cut off, right? I want you to put it in your mouth. I want you to say, I'm sorry, Moist. I'm sorry, O'Hare. I'm sorry, Duck.
Footage like this can be hard to watch, but apparently this kind of stuff was just the start of what would happen to the victims in this
Voice
Discord
changes,
server.
right?
At
Yeah,
the
so
end of
that's
that
just
video
my voice.
clip,
I just
the
talk
girl
like that,
asked,
right?
"Are we good?" And then the recording
talk
ended
like that,
with a
right?
response
Yeah?
of, "No." I mean, this is just
If I'm using a voice
step
changer,
one.
wouldn't it be my same accent and voice and
Situations like
sounding
this
different?
happened daily
It would sound
in the
like me
764
still. It's just-
Discord,
it
and
is
one
deeper,
perpetrator
though.
was even seen
The fuck?
boasting about how
Yo,
he
bro,
had obtained a
I ain't gonna lie,
lengthy
bro.
CP video, saying it
Y'all
was,
gonna make me
quote,
turn
the
this shit off,
14th girl this month. Now, if you just multiply that by the hundreds of members who are in the server, you can take a guess at how many people were being manipulated. The number gets even higher when you remember those messages from earlier, showing how multiple predators would swarm a vulnerable victim and extort them simultaneously. The future levels demonstrate just how far that extortion could go. Compromising photos probably were the most common form of leverage, but 764 would also find other ways to manipulate their victims. Some of them would hack into their phones or computers, trick them into downloading viruses, or use other illegal methods to gain control of their data. From there, they could gain access to sensitive information like their address and make direct threats on their families. It was common to get threats of someone showing up at your house, and many swattings were also called in.
Holy
This
shit.
advertisement in a 764 splinter group shows a, quote, SWAT for hire service, with prices ranging from $10 to $30. Another strategy they used to get info was asking
fuck?
from $10 to
Small SWAT $10, medium SWAT 20, big SWAT 30. Is that shit how that shit really work? That's just weird, bro. That's one thing I do not like. That's one reason, I ain't gonna lie, I don't like about, like, becoming big, even on this, like, internet stuff, and then niggas know your name and shit like that. You're always gonna have at least one weird nigga, bro, in your career that would just try some shit like this, bro. That's one thing I do not like about, like, the whole becoming big on the internet and all this extra shit. Yo, Tanker, buddy. I ain't gonna lie. If a niggas ever came to my house on some bullshit like that, bro, dead ass, I'm moving strictly straight to Patreon, nigga. Fuck that. Twitch can go in the garbage for all I care.
$30. Another strategy they used to get
That
info
shit go
was
in the damn
asking
garbage.
government agencies directly, using falsified emergency requests. Surprisingly, in some
that should be
instances,
weird though,
these
bro.
fakes were so convincing that 764 was actually granted sensitive
that's the
info
only
about
like
their victim.
thing I don't want like about becoming like extra huge and shit like that through the whole internet shit, bro. Things like that can happen. You can have weirdos in your chat just willing to just do random weird shit like that, and they could tell the police anything.
Were so convincing that 764 was actually granted sensitive info about their victims. From this point on, almost everything revolves around leverage. Once they had something on you, they weaponized it to gain even more leverage, up to the point where they had total control over your life.
That's so weird, bro.
Level 4. Animal cruelty.
What the fuck you mean, animal?
This was another early form of
tell me
extortion
they had
that often
niggas in
happened
Discord calls
before
doing
things
something to the
escalated
animal,
to be
bro.
more extreme. Similar to the previous level,
tell
764
me they
would
had niggas doing
leverage
shit to the
compromising
animals.
or vulnerable material that they had on a new member and threaten to release it unless they started hurting their pets.
Motherfucker, car
Senior
decline.
members of the cult liked this practice as it
Nigga, car
provided
decline,
plenty
yeah.
of videos for their lore books.
That's good.
These so-called lore books were basically just big digital folders of abuse content, and many senior members had the goal of making the most graphic and extreme lore book so that they could pass it around like a trophy and show others what they had done. Forcing someone else to hurt an animal was apparently considered a mild but valid entry into one of these books. One example was this video, where a 14-year-old held up her pet hamster in front of the camera while she was live streaming inside of the 764 server. Bradley yelled at her, "Bite the head off or I'll F up your life."
I ain't gonna lie, bro. At the end of this shit, if this nigga does not have the death penalty, my nigga, dead ass, and more, like the TK death penalty, my nigga. I want to hear this nigga got 15 years. I want this nigga to have the death penalty in the fucking pit, in the hole. I want this nigga in Arkham Asylum, bro. Gang, what the fuck? This nigga is telling people to bite the head off their hamsters in GTA, or he's gonna swat them. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He should have been, like, put under something somewhere by now, bro.
As he continued to hide behind his username, Felix. Dozens of other people were also in the
He should have
voice
been
call
put
watching
under-
with great anticipation. "Stop crying," one of them said, as the girl was obviously sobbing and unsure about how to get out of this horrible situation. As the call went on, she was eventually forced into harming the animal in a number of ways, and a little while later, the family's pet was dead.
Oh my god.
In another case related to this topic, a user named HolyGirl222 was forced to kill her cat. In this image that leaked out of the server, we can see her holding up a fan sign for her abuser named Court. 764 is written in the corner of the page, and in her other hand, she is holding up the now deceased animal. She was later doxxed and also swatted. Another one of the more well-known videos from 764 is this one, where a girl killed her cat on camera while all of these other people are watching. There also appears to be a rabbit in the video, but it is pretty dark and hard to see. At the end, she is forced to write the server's name using its blood. In this image, we can see yet another cat being strangled, with a fan sign next to it saying, "Harm 764 made me do this." These incidents, although disturbing, were still only level 4 out of 13.
What do you mean level 4? How is that fucking level 4, my nigga? It's one thing, bro. It's bad enough that these niggas are doing shit to themselves. Or they're getting put in swatting positions and this, that, and the third. Nigga, but the animals though, bro. The animals. I'm not even fucking playing around with that shit, bro. I'm not, gang. Young nigga don't even deserve you. I came across how the young nigga lose. I'm a loser. I'm lame because I lost. What the hell is you talking about? Flip Barney, buddy. You're in one, bro. Yo, 2K, bro. Don't piss me off, bro. Please, bro. Please, 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 bro. Do not. I will finish this shit. I will finish this video off stream, bro. Deadass.
Evidence, although
I'm
disturbing,
gonna still react. But, yeah, bro. No, come on, bro.
we're still only level 4 out of 13.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. 4 out of fucking 13, gang. It's the fucking animals, bro. That's the shit that's like not sitting right with me, bro. Cause it's like they're so like animals supposed to be like your best friend in a sort in a sense.
13, and were considered relatively common within 764. For this reason, this girl's mother feared that the same might happen to her animals, and she had.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. They would have to just keep on sending. First and foremost, I wouldn't even be in a situation like this. I'm not joining no random ass server game, talking to no random ass weak ass niggas. Sorry, bro. I'm not doing that game.
Had to lock all of the family pets away behind closed doors for their own protection. She even had to sleep with a kitchen knife under her pillow, just in case she had to defend herself from her own teenage daughter who was in 764. It may sound almost like an extreme precaution, but the group
Bro, all
was
those kids need fucking like more than therapy. They need something, bro. They just need a whole nother chance at life at this point, bro. Deadass. They need a whole second chance at life just to turn everything around at this point.
Actually known to escalate into pressuring kids to kill their parents, and potentially, they also leaned into an ideology called anti-natalism. This is the belief that it is morally wrong or
This is more than just a group of depressed kids in a Discord server, bro. At this point, this is genuinely more
justifiable to have children, and extremist groups like to use this to radicalize kids. They tell you that your parents only had you to satisfy their own selfish desires, and that you should hate your parents because they brought you into this world without your consent. A member would tend to experience more twisted and strange ideologies the deeper they got into 764. Level 5. Cut signs. Usually following some sort of pressure for animal abuse, the next level would be harming oneself. Cutting was the standard, but more specifically, 764 became infamous for a certain type called cut signs. In order to symbolize their servitude and loyalty, members would be forced to carve the names of their abusers into their bodies. Others carved the numbers 764, literally branding themselves. Bradley later mentioned how several people had carved his initials, and it was seen as a quote.
Like, how do you even act innocent being even involved with this nigga or with this whole Discord shit? How, bro?
Bradley later mentioned how several people had carved his initials, and it was seen as a quote, homage to Bradley. This would leave them with permanent damage and scars from the initials, and also sometimes they'd use symbols related to the cult. For example, she carved a swastika, and apparently after a while she had so many cuts that she couldn't even recognize a square inch of her body. As was the standard, the abusers inside of 764 watched her do all of this, mostly on live streams within the server, and Bradley went on to repeatedly boast about this type of thing. I make eat their house pets and cut for 4 hours straight. I got proof too. You a freak of nature, another user replied. I'm the real deal. The following is a chat log example of what it looked like for Bradley as he extorted members into cut signing, using a leverage photo he had previously obtained. You don't want that photo posted everywhere, right? Of course I don't, but I don't want a cut sign for you either. You really think that you're given a choice? Okay, but like why me, bro? I didn't do anything. You're going to do something for me, cutting or not. Can't you find someone else, please? No. Evidence of cut signs were another staple in the lorebook collections of high-ranking members. Here we can see a folder of one guy who had amassed a collection of more than 8,000 images and videos of children, including infants and toddlers. This collection landed him in federal prison with a 7-year sentence.
Oh my god. I low-key want to skip to level 13, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because this shit... It's like, how the fuck is this level 5, bro? How the fuck is this level 5?
But it also established him as a legend in 764 history, highlighting just how much respect you would get if you had a big collection. Perpetrators like him literally considered cut signs to be proof of ownership over their victim.
They would say, like, if you cut my name into your body, then I own you.
764 had such complete control over the girl in this clip that she apparently couldn't be left alone for more than 10 minutes because she would be at risk of hurting herself. Fortunately, she eventually was able to move beyond this terrible time in her life and is now recovering many years later. Level 6. Potential escape. After suffering through the first few levels of the cult, some users would try to leave, but escaping 764 was exceptionally difficult. You couldn't just decide to leave the server one day because they would fight back and they would go ahead and deploy all the leverage they had built up against you. For example, one mother disconnected her daughter from the internet because she found out she was covered in cuts and she had heard her talking to 764 members while in the bathtub. It had escalated to the point where the mother said, "If I had not been at the bathroom door, I have no doubt I would have lost my daughter." After she cut off her teen's contact with 764 though, she discovered firsthand what happens to people who try to escape the network. CP images of her were instantly released. The principal at the girl's middle school was harassed several times, and phone calls mentioned how the girl had strangled cats and harmed herself. 764 also reported a false emergency event at her residence, which caused a SWAT team to raid their house. This is the type of stuff that any potential escapee would have to endure, and for many, this kept them trapped inside. They would receive messages like, "All right, I guess I'ma have to send," alongside other threats to release their photos and sensitive information. In this case, it worked. No,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. One thing about it, bro, I don't give a flying fuck. My son, daughter, whatever. I'm sorry. They're not having no form. Bro, it's so weird because it could happen on Roblox, Minecraft. They're fucking everywhere. But they're definitely 100% not having no fucking Discord gang at all. They're not having no fucking Discord. I promise you to God that. They're not having no Discord. I don't give a flying fuck.
Other threats to release their photos and
They're not
sensitive
having
information.
Discord, bro.
In this case, it worked. No. Okay, sorry.
At all.
I will. What do you want? Yourself. Simple, right? You're like my dog now, on a leash.
It's who
The
you
bleak
at.
reality
Yeah, but
is that
still, bro,
almost nobody left
they ain't
7.
joining no fucking crazy ass servers or nothing like that, bro. I'm sorry. No, that's not happening. It's not fucking happening.
6-4.
It's not
And
happening.
those
Only game my son playing is the dinosaur game when you ain't got no internet. I ain't gonna lie, I'm having this nigga play straight offline story mode.
who did suffered the consequences.
They not playing no online games unless it's fucking. What would y'all say the safest online? I don't know, bruh. That dead ass can happen anywhere, but Roblox is definitely one mainstream shit where you can find people like this in. I don't even know if I want them playing. I personally didn't even play Roblox until I was 18 or 19. I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't start playing Roblox until I started streaming. I ain't played Roblox before then at all. Dead ass.
Level 7. Satanism.
I'd argue TikTok would be more dangerous. Yeah, it can. I ain't gonna lie. It definitely can. It definitely can. TikTok can be very, very dangerous. The live shit's in there. Disable chat. Yeah, first and foremost, they're not even gonna be able to talk to niggas. I'm sorry. They're not even gonna be able to talk to niggas. It's not happening. It's not happening, bro. A lot of these new age kids, they be having a lot more freedom than they really know they have. For real, for real. I'm not gonna lie. They be having a lot more freedom than they know they have. Nigga can watch anime and that's it. I ain't gonna lie. I'll grow my little nigga up. Or if it's a daughter, listen. They gonna grow up watching dang Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, motherfucking anime, and shit like that, bro. Same shit that I grew up on, wrestling. They got to, bro. I'm sorry. They not growing up. No, bro. No, nigga. No, nigga.
This is the edgy.
If they get some friends at school, bro, I gotta meet them. Alright? If they got a birthday party coming up, I'm coming. I gotta meet them. Who the fuck is your friend? Who is that? Because they ain't gonna be influencing to do none of this crazy, weird bullshit.
Branding layer that is always present in all of the levels, but it's also being ordered at level 7 because it has inspired violent crime. Satanism is one of the things that was carried forward from the cult server, and it would be introduced to new members as a defining ideology of 764. At times, though, it became much more than just an ideology.
One thing you always gonna have to make sure you keep in contact with your kid. Make sure you talk to them. If they have anything going on at school or anything like that, if they come home looking sad anything, make sure y'all talk to them. I'm gonna need my kid to be open about everything, because first and foremost, I'll be fucking damned, God forbid, I'll be damned that my son or daughter grows up to be a fucking string like Bradley. Like, you know what you have to go through in your life to even become a Bradley, bro? To even become a Bradley or a Rohan, my nigga?
Such as
you know what
this
you have
case
to go
where
through?
the Brazilian police arrested a 764 group who was planning an attack on a Lady Gaga concert. This took place in Rio de Janeiro, and allegedly one of the members of the splinter group was planning a, quote, satanic human sacrifice of a child or baby, which was to happen during the concert. They were found to be in possession of illegal firearms and also wanted to use explosives in their terror attack. One of the members of the group was also charged with live streaming a separate attack on a homeless man. According to the police, he started a live stream in the 764 server, recording the entire incident. He approached the man who appeared to be sleeping on the sidewalk, and then he hit him with 2 Molotov cocktails. Police seized the phones of all the members of this group, and allegedly also found a lot of CSAM, CP, and other illegal and disgusting content.
Like, I know what you went through in your life and all this extra shit, but bro, like, why, my nigga? The fuck? And then police didn't look at it as a threat when they first, like, back on level 2? They didn't look at it as a threat when all them threats was going out to the school, this, that, and the police weren't looking at it then? They're just thinking it's a phase in life?
Another tie to Satanism is that some members may have been required to make blood oaths in order to prove their loyalty. This is more tied to a similar group called the Order of Nine Angles though, so it's uncertain just how many blood oaths actually took place inside of 764 itself. It seems that a lot of the satanic stuff was also symbolic, because the group's presence on SoundCloud often featured satanic-related playlists and also apparently ISIS music. Often featured the satanic stuff was also symbolic, because the group's presence
I was about to say, is this they
on
playlist?
SoundCloud often
He just looked up satanic.
featured
I was about to say, no way
satanic
Xavier so bass is fucking... I ain't gonna lie, bro. You know, I'll be damned if I'm making a damn song and I find my song in they damn playlist.
Playlists and
I'll be
also
damned.
apparently ISIS music. Surprisingly, the group did use SoundCloud for some of their activities, but obviously platforms like Discord and Telegram remained their primary focus. Level 8. CP and CSAM. Usually following some of the abuse mentioned in the earlier levels, this is when the extortion would really start to get extreme. 764 would try to get their members to record large amounts of CP. To be clear, this stuff would be a lot worse than the leverage photos that were mentioned earlier. Those photos were really just strategic and used for 764 to get their foot in the door, and then later on, they would try to force their victims to record even more extensive and violent content. This form of severe extortion became Bradley's specialty, and he was absolutely obsessed. He would...
Why isn't no... I personally don't understand. Why the fuck is it anybody that's, like, living with him, bro? Going in his room, talking to the little nigga, getting him somewhere... He's already way too far gone. But, like, what? Y'all think one day it's just gonna blow over? Do something with the nigga, dog. Do something. Do something.
frequently boast about
He probably gotta go to... Bro, if he goes to prison, like, even at this state right now, bro, he's not getting out. Bro, but he gotta go to, like, Arkham Asylum or something. He just gotta get, like, a whole just reset in life, like, dead ass. Like, he has to die and come back or something like that. I'm not trolling, bro.
it, saying things like, quote,
He has to get a
I'm known
reset.
for being a pedophile, to which another user responded, Felix the CP God. He groomed countless members and created original content, but he also started amassing a huge storage of CP that he had encountered elsewhere in the comm. He claimed to have collected several terabytes of CP, and one time he posted a video that, a user said, showed a sex act involving a baby. Inside of 764, it really was a culture of kids exploiting other kids in the network, as Bradley was still a minor himself at this time. However, over time, this huge library of content inside of 764 also started to attract much older adults. In this video, one of these adults was in the middle of grooming this girl when her dad walked into the room.
Hey, can you hear us? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm 27 years old, by the way, and I want your daughter to do stuff for me.
Okay, that's fine. I'll report you to the police.
Oh, I'm sure you will, fatty. Can you leave the room, though? I'm busy talking with your daughter. I just saw her and she's like 16, I'm 27. Make her lift up her shirt.
I will be reporting you to the police.
Because her father intervened and stopped her from following orders, the girl realized that she was now in danger of being doxxed, and the 764 members began threatening her.
I don't want them. They're gonna dox me.
Do you want to die? Do you want to die tonight? Do you?
The call ended abruptly, and
Yo, bro. I don't even know how dude even made this whole hour video and was just like, you know? I know he was probably hella unpleased making this shit. Gang, what? The internet is dead ass a terrible place, bro. Certain parts of the internet is dead ass a terrible place. Oh my gosh, bro. No, I'm sorry. I can't, bro. I can't. I'm sorry. My kid, like, the most I'll probably do, bro, if I give my son or daughter a phone at like age 12 to 14, first and foremost, number one, well, they probably gonna find out on their own. Every kid finds out on their own. It's about Instagram, Snapchat, all the social media apps and things like that, bro. But it's like, bro, just getting into the internet dead ass. If you go down the wrong path, bro, on this shit, that shit dead ass could be fucking terrifying, bro. You just gotta pray that they do not do that, bro. They don't go down the wrong path. They don't end up down a dark hole, bro. Cause what the fuck is this group of people, bro? They're genuinely like demons, bro. They not even like. There can't be a soul in these niggas. There
and
can't
we
be
do
a
not know
singular
what
soul in
happened
these
afterward.
niggas, bro.
Bradley was participating in this extortion alongside the adult who was speaking during most of the video. Going by the username Moist Nigerian, he was well known in the extortion comm and was allegedly acting like a mentor to Bradley. In another photo, we can see some evidence of his other activities, with this fan sign reading, "Moist Nigerian has me and my 2-year-old sister captive. He's a sick man."
These niggas need to be chained somewhere.
764 also attracted many other
dark
well-known
room.
predators. 24-year-old Kyle Spitz introduced himself, saying, quote, "Little information about how I started. I've always been a psychopath and always wanted to watch girls inflict pain upon themselves for me. My earliest sign I ever got was a
But the thing is, though, bruh, bullying is never, I ain't gonna lie, bullying is lame as fuck. But, like, something, how do you even turn out to be like this, bro? How? It gotta be more than just school bullying, bro. Something has to happen in their lives for them to even turn out to just have a brain like this, gang. How?
single K
How,
back in
bro?
2016. Over the years, I've stopped, taken breaks, and come back on new aliases, but I have a total of over 2,600 plus victims. My goal is to reach 3,000 before I get feted. Kyle was also very well known because this video of him went viral on Twitter, getting a ridiculous 32.4 million views. The video shows his mom's boyfriend wielding a weapon, and then he actually shoots it and hits Kyle in the ear.
You're gonna blow my mom? You're gonna blow my mom's brains out? Point that gun at me again.
Kyle ended up being totally okay, but the man proceeded to turn the weapon on himself, and he did not survive. The FBI later paid them a visit, found Kyle's CP collection, and he is now facing decades in prison. Nobody knows if he reached his goal of 3,000 victims before he was, quote, feted. This other man was one of the most active comm members when it came to crimes of this type. During one of his most infamous incidents, he groomed a victim from Instagram and then drove all the way from Texas to Virginia, where he set up camp in the woods behind her house. He convinced her to run away with him and said that they were in love and going to start a life together. He was 21 and she was 12. An Amber Alert was issued and they were eventually found after they had traveled to North Carolina. He was sentenced to 350 years in prison because of the things he did to her, especially because he recorded much of it on video. Yet another 764 member was arrested later.
Oh my god, bro. Bro, a black fucking, yo, oh my god, you fucking retard. Holy shit. All these niggas are retarded, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Why the fuck did he come from Virginia, though? That's my first thing I'm trying to think of. That's why I looked at it. Why the fuck did he come from Texas to Virginia?
Yet another 764 member was arrested later on, and this one is notable because his court documents detail some of the overall things that were going on inside of the server. Quote, Detective Basco located over 700 images of the worst child exploitation he had observed in his career. Nearly every image of child exploitation showed the child to be bound or restrained, and in many cases, an element of sadism was observed. These are just a few of the most infamous predators from 764, because sadly, the list just goes on and on. They would force these kids to engage in every type of activity, even when some of them were allegedly only 5 or 6 years old. They had entire servers.
What the fuck? Huh? Were they getting the older kids to do something to the 5 or 6 year olds? Cause nigga, 5 and 6, they're barely even conscious. Like they just become conscious, my nigga. These niggas need to be fucking cemented underground or some shit, my nigga. Dead ass, bro. Just have they fucking body decay with the worms. I'm sorry.
Some of them were allegedly only 5 or 6 years old. They had entire servers dedicated to this type of topic with thousands of videos, such as this one called CP
I don't know
Hangout.
what these niggas are.
764 actually became so hated that even white supremacist groups no longer wanted to interact with them. They set up a bot that would detect whenever a so-called known people joined, and then they would instantly kick them out. 764 was shocked by this because many of them literally were white supremacists, and their CP had just become so notorious that even the supremacists needed to create some distance. Level 9, ranking up. This is the level where some victims actually switch sides and start abusing others, with the goal of climbing the social ladder of the cult. This is one of the most twisted aspects of the entire operation, because the system incentivizes victims to start finding victims of their own. You could gain significant status within the system if you successfully carried out violence or exploitation, and you would gain an extra bunch of points if your video went viral. As the FBI said, it's sort of a badge of honor within some of these groups to actually do the most harm to victims. Even if you were being actively extorted though, you could still do something very extreme yourself and potentially take the target off your back and become respected within 764. This created a very chaotic culture inside of 764 because basically at all times, most members were trying to extort each other and force them to do insane things on camera. Recording your own violence towards people in real life was also considered to be worthy of respect though, so it wasn't just extorting others. As mentioned earlier, many members would create lore books of their victims, and they would also put their own personal violence in this lore book and share it with others to increase their rank. The more extreme your lore book was, the more praise you would receive. With this goal in mind of converting new innocent members into perpetrators, 764 created and then widely circulated a handbook that contained tutorials. It was called the Extortion Handbook, a comprehensive guide for perpetrators, and it was so extensive that it apparently took 3 hours and 48 minutes to read. It talks about strategies for abusing victims ages 13 to 18, but then it also, quote, recommends targeting children under 13 for their vulnerability and lack of digital literacy. With that said, everything here gives the appearance that there was a strong culture of teaching the next generation of abusers within the cult.
Who is letting these niggas get off the hook with a lot of this stuff, bro? That's the thing I'm not understanding. Where is the people active somewhere in their lives of some sort, bro? Like, do something. What are they doing, my nigga?
So exchanges like this one saying, I don't know how to extort.
These are majority a group of kids, bro. These are a majority a group of kids. Where the fuck is the older niggas in their fucking lives, bro? Doing something about some shit like this. How the fuck did these niggas get a whole book off?
How? The cult. There were also exchanges like this one saying, I don't know how to extort, with the response being, don't worry, I'll teach you. This was ultimately how 764 was able to scale up so fast. Friendly fire was constantly happening, and every new victim would also become a potential predator as time went on. Level 10. Profit. Disturbingly, it appears that many of the activities within 764 were motivated both by a desire to exploit and also a desire for profit. The network allegedly became somewhat of a hub for buying and selling CP, and members would use this marketplace to profit from their exploits. At one point, Bradley claimed that he had made $10,000 the previous day selling CP, and in another conversation, he claimed that he had made as much as $25,000 per day. These claims do appear to be exaggerated, but it is still clear that Bradley was profiting at least some amount from his operations in the server. In this screenshot, we can actually see an unrelated example of a purchase attempt. The user offers to sell 10 pictures and 10 videos of his 15-year-old sister for a total of $50.
This is exactly why, bro. The way you grow up, my nigga. This is exactly why, bro. The way you genuinely grow up, or the way you raise your kids, or the way parents raise you, or the way... It's so important, bro. It's so fucking important. That shit's so fucking important, bro. All of this be stemming from that, bro. And then you add on the bullying at school and stuff like that. That all comes later in life. And I feel like a lot of that stuff could really be solved, for real, for real. A lot of that stuff really could be solved. The school bullying and things like that. But this is exactly why, bro. The way you raise your kids, or the way parents in general raise you, or anything like that, is genuinely one of the most important parts of your life, bro. Dead ass. Dead ass, bro. If something's going on with your kid, brother, sibling, cousin, something like that, bro, nigga. If something's going on genuinely in your son, brother, cousin, I don't know, somebody like that, right? Life, bro. Make sure they talking to somebody. Make sure they just genuinely getting help to get out of that certain situation. Don't have niggas just go through certain situations, bro. Please don't have niggas go through certain situations, because that could have these niggas growing up to be just like these niggas, bro. And that's something you genuinely do not want. That's something you genuinely do not want, bro. And then after the whole bullying and growing up bad thing, niggas instantly hop on the internet and try to take a lot of their stuff there, and then they group with niggas that's going through a lot of the same stuff on some fuck everybody in the world shit. Nigga, of course this is gonna be the fucking outcome. Of course this is gonna be the outcome of these.
The buyer responds, "Sorry, bro, I said underage. I need them to be like 4 to 7 years old."
What the fuck?
He then offers to cash app $15 right now if the seller has any videos of 4 to 7 year olds. And then the seller confirms that he does. Another concerning example of profiting is when a 764 member, notoriously known as Yuki, created a sort of violence for hire service using the name Brick Squad. The following is a clip of him explaining how it works.
Brick Squad is the front lines, you know, you can order from their house, get the house like up, even get the person who's in the house robbed, just a bunch of other things.
During an interview, he also said, quote, "People pay around $1,000 for a bricking. Normally, the starting price to shoot up a house is $5,000. If you want someone actually killed or kidnapped, that would go for way more." Overall, it is clear that 764 explicitly marketed their group and their activities as a way to make profit. In the aforementioned handbook, one of the sections is literally called Earn Money. It says, easily earn money by selling explicit content you receive from or from your victim. In accordance with all of this, it seems that the Discord server and the WhatsApp groups basically became black markets to fuel their own operations, and it remains unclear just how big the economy became over the years. Law enforcement. Before continuing on to the final levels of the cult, it's worth noting what the authorities were doing about all of this obviously illegal activity.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
As 764 became more and more mainstream in mid-2021, it finally started to draw serious attention. Discord had manually filed reports about 764, begging the authorities to take action. And in fact, they submitted 58 reports about Bradley Cadenhead alone. This is exactly why Bradley thought he was invincible. But finally, after years of being a sadistic terrorist, police traced him to his mother's 2-bedroom apartment and entered his room, which apparently reeked of body odor. He was arrested, and this mugshot was taken.
Bro,
Police
throw that
seized
nigga
all of his
underground,
devices, including this
the
laptop,
worms.
where they found graphic violence, videos, and CP that included at least 20 images of prepubescent girls. Sometimes, terrorist groups disappear when their leader gets arrested, but 764 would not be one of those groups. As described in the upcoming levels, the cult continued to thrive and even grow after Bradley was out of the picture. Following Bradley's arrest, the cult carried out some of its worst activities yet, and this is where it got so bad that the FBI classified 764 as a Tier 1 terrorist organization. Tier 1 is the highest possible level of threat in the FBI, and with that in mind, they opened over 250 investigations spanning all 55 of their field offices. The director of the FBI also tweeted about 764, calling the cult deeply disturbing and reinforcing that those who come after America's children will face justice. The agency would go on to make several more statements to the same effect. During Bradley's trial, a prosecutor said, "Very rarely do we get a chance to look evil in the face. This may be one of those times." After seeing the contents of Bradley's laptop, the judge, quote, listed all of the Bible's 7 deadly sins by name and said there was evidence of them in this case. The judge then turned directly to Bradley and said, "There is something horribly wrong with you. Horribly."
Horribly.
In 2023, Bradley was sentenced to 80 years in prison. But somehow, as of now, he is already eligible for parole on his active sentence. Since he is serving multiple consecutive sentences, though, he will still need to be cleared for those other sentences if he is ever granted parole for his first sentence. Additionally, because his cult is still ongoing, Bradley remains a threat and is therefore very unlikely to be released anytime soon. Violent extremism. Gore and graphic violence were always considered to be defining elements of 764, but shocking real-life violence and literal terrorism escalated after Bradley's arrest. These attacks were often seen as yet another level within the cult, and the attacks were considered to be much more prestigious. Sometimes people would be forced into violence, such as this example where someone said, "I grabbed a British person into killing her neighbor." Other times, though, people would stream themselves committing actual murder because they wanted to gain more respect and status within the org. Quote, "stabbed someone." Another user replied with "cap," to which they said, "not cap, and I can prove it." This happened in Romania because a 17-year-old member named Tobbs764 was trying to gain status. He was a new generation member, meaning that he was most active after Bradley was arrested. Tobbs desperately wanted to join another server called MKY and prove himself worthy, so he came up with a violent plan and went live to stream it. He started by attacking an 82-year-old man, causing major injuries that left him hospitalized. Apparently, this wasn't enough to get him into MKY though, because just a few weeks later, he set out on the streets for another episode. This time, things got a lot worse. He attacked a 74-year-old woman who was just taking out her trash. In the video footage, he is seen approaching her, saying hi, and then knocking her to the ground. He proceeds to brutally murder her as everyone watched it on the live Discord call. Moments later, he is seen running away in a nearby field, having stolen her necklace from her body. He said the attack was racially motivated, as he thought she was either of Jewish or Roma descent. Later, it was revealed that she was actually neither. The assailant was arrested and charged with murder, attempted murder, and possession of CP. Apparently, they found a lot of material with violence in every imaginable form: beheadings, bombings, and abuse of children. Tobbs was also allegedly known to take dogs from the pound and beat them to death. For these charges, he was sentenced to 14 years in prison.
Man, I need
It
these
seems
niggas
that he had
12
become
feet
involved in some sort
underground
of
in the
program for
fucking dirt,
reintegrating
buried
minors into
alive with
society,
the fucking
and
worms.
this is
I don't
why
give a
he
fuck.
wasn't given a longer sentence.
Fuck the sentences shit.
To give
bro.
a little more context on the MKY group that he was trying to join, they're known as the Maniac Murder Cult, and they are a violent neo-Nazi accelerationist group based in Russia and Ukraine. They supposedly represent the most violent of the 764 affiliated communities, as they've claimed responsibility for over 50 murders worldwide. The number is, of course, unverified, but the thing to know is that they are clearly one of the more extreme splinter groups within the COM. In recent years, there have been hundreds of school shootings in the United States, and it appears that some of them link back to 764. A 17-year-old in Tennessee opened fire inside of a cafeteria, killing one student and injuring another before taking his own life. He had attempted to livestream this attack on the platform Kick, but the stream cut out partway through. Investigations later uncovered evidence suggesting that he was involved in the COM and 764, as he made several references using memes and usernames. One of his social media profiles even made the claim that he was a direct victim of a 764 leader. On January 6th, 2021, the United States Capitol was attacked by a mob, and the ensuing riot became deadly.
I literally tried streaming on Kick one time in my fucking life just to watch. I forgot what show it was. It was a new show that was coming out, bro. But that's before I even thought about doing Patreon, though. I was genuinely trying to do it just for shows, bro. Like, I wasn't even going to try to stream on there. I was just trying to do it for shows.
The United States Capitol was attacked by a mob, and the ensuing riot became deadly and quite infamous. One of the most high-profile rioters, named Riley, was a member of the COM. "I stole stuff from Nancy Pelosi," she typed in all caps. "I stole her gavel hammer thing." During the riot, she led an army up the stairs as they stormed the Capitol and broke into Nancy Pelosi's office. In addition to the gavel, she also stole Pelosi's laptop, and according to her ex, she, quote, intended to send the computer device to a friend in Russia, who then planned to sell the device to SVR, Russia's foreign intelligence service. She was later sentenced to prison with a term of 3 years, but she was acquitted on the laptop theft charge, even though she admitted to doing it. As documented thus far, the violence coming out of 764 would happen for a variety of reasons. Racially motivated stuff was a common theme though, and another incident occurred when a neo-Nazi member planned a mass casualty event in 2023. This member of the COM plotted to dress up as Santa Claus and then give poisoned candy to racial minorities and Jewish children in the streets of New York City. This individual was 21 and allegedly a leader of MKY, which I just told you about. This will not be shown, but he gave step-by-step instructions on exactly how to put the poison into the candies and explained how this was all supposed to happen on New Year's Eve.
What the fuck?
Luckily, this is one of the incidents where the FBI...
This shit was happening in damn near, bro, in every single fucking state, bro. And 2021 wasn't even that fucking long ago, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. The internet is making the world go to shit, bro. Dead ass, bro. Certain things on the internet is making the world go to fucking shit. Niggas don't even, bro. Niggas could think it's just a random Santa Claus nigga, bro. It's a random Santa Claus nigga going around New York City handing out candy on some good gesture shit. Nigga got poison in the shit. The fuck? Bro, I don't...
actually prevented the attack, as the MKY member unknowingly communicated these plans to an undercover agent who flagged the upcoming deadly event.
Son,
the man pleaded not guilty, but if convicted, he faces up to 50 years.
It's a bad cult on the internet.
In that case, authorities did an excellent job of apprehending him before anything could happen, but that was sadly not the case in many other violent extremism cases. To give a final and chilling example, at least 8 attacks in Western Stockholm can be linked to the violence-approving internet movement 764. They reported that many of the victims were elderly and that at least 6 of the attacks were filmed and posted on Telegram channels linked to 764. It seems that multiple members may have been involved, including a 14-year-old boy who is suspected to have carried out several of the knife attacks himself. Because of his age, he cannot and will not be held criminally responsible under Swedish law. But the whole case really just goes to demonstrate how 764 is able to manipulate kids into doing violence. Evidently, the 764 network itself has had plenty of violent incidents, but this chapter would not be complete without mentioning another adjacent group from the comm. They are called No Lives Matter, or NLM for short. This group has been partnered on and off over the years with 764, and they have many overlapping members and overlapping ideologies. As you can see here, they like to advertise their partnership with graffiti saying things like NLM 764, No Lives Matter. We strike anywhere, anytime. As you may infer from their name, they do not value any form of life whatsoever, and they often seek to end it. To give you an idea, you have to do something really violent just to join the group, as seen in this announcement message reading, NLM only accepts acts which harm the mundane, for example, beatings,
they were showing
arson,
videos,
etc. Similarly, we can also see this other post from a comm group called Hive, encouraging prospective members to do brickings, beatings, graffiti, arson, and extortion. Homeland Security recently made a post about NLM to provide a little bit more insight into their operations, and they mention two main pieces of NLM literature. These are the Terror Guide and the Manhunt Guide. Both of these allegedly provide detailed instructions on how to do said activities, including mass casualty terror attacks or specific manhunt-style operations. In addition to the things we've already mentioned, though, the whole NLM ideology is rooted in abolishing all societal norms, as they aim to, quote, spread terror to all who are mundane. Notably, though, they do not want to replace or change anything about society, they simply just want to destroy it and witness its downfall. The Department of Justice clarified this as well, saying the 764 network's accelerationist goals include social unrest and the downfall of the current world order, including the US government.
They're not human, bro.
Unfortunately, much like the chapter on CP, the violence chapter could go on for approximately 3 hours based on how many cases and splinter groups there are. There is a pattern that remains the same through almost all of these cases, though. A desperate young person records themselves doing an attack, either because they were forced to or because they thought they could impress their audience on the live stream. These cases that were presented here barely scratched the surface. But with that said, it's now time to move to the final level. Level 13.
Holy shit.
Many members of this network have an end goal of forcing their victims to commit suicide on live stream.
As you just heard, this is the ultimate goal of 764. New members slowly progress through the levels and do more and more extreme things until finally they're encouraged to end it all on a live stream. Watching one of these incidents happen was actually one of Bradley's personal goals from the very beginning, as he said he wanted to, quote, watch someone kill themselves in video chat. Luckily, most new members never make it to level 13, but sadly, there are some who did. Should I kill myself? Yes. Tonight? Yes. What should I do? 764 members provided complete guides in excruciating detail on exactly what to do. They encouraged it, explained it, and apparently loved watching it happen. The videos would be saved and added to a lore book. The experiences were traumatic. I watched a girl herself from her closet, Sophia says, adding that the girl survived. I saw somebody themselves right in the face. One of the cases that I personally consider to be the worst involves a 25.
I can solely blame the parents for even just allowing their kids to go through everything that they went through and instantly just hop on the internet, my nigga. Dead ass, bro. You can't. I am, bro. I am. Now, obviously, the parents are not the ones doing the strange shits that their kids need the death penalty for. But, gang, oh my god, bro. I'm telling you, it all stems from the way you grow up and the stuff that goes on in your life, bro. It all stems, bro. And then you just allow them to just sit there all day, every day, not do anything else and just stay on the internet. And this is the shit that they end up falling into, bro. Oh my god, bro. Holy shit. Oh,
5-year-old man from Minnesota who was in the middle of a mental health struggle when he joined 764. His name was Samuel Hervey, and he found a home in this community. He met another user who went by the name of FMLK, and she was a 15-year-old.
What are you talking about, bro?
Recognizing
that didn't even happen on the internet. I wasn't even on the internet when I met that lady.
And vulnerability.
What are you talking about?
She realized
that was
that
real
she
life.
could take advantage of him. She planned to convince him to take his own life
What, bro?
because she wanted to gain status within 764.
Oh
the two became very close, with FMLK consistently encouraging him to commit, using phrases like, "You can do this." A while later, Samuel actually came up with the plan on how he was going to do it, and he announced his upcoming death to the server 1 week before the incident. Quote,
I'm having
"Dude,
my kid
I'm gonna
play
kill
all
myself
offline games
because it's the only way to love myself."
They ain't knowing about Instagram until they
As the
16
time grew closer,
or
he
17
wrote,
years
"Today
old.
is the second to last day of my life. I bought
Sorry,
the gasoline today. Right now, I kind of feel like it was always meant to end like this."
This shit's
Reading
scary,
those messages,
bro.
everyone knew what he was going to do. The Discord members were looking forward to watching it all go down, and
This shit is
FMLK
too
was
scary.
probably excited about trying to rank up. On the day of the incident, Samuel made the announcement that he would be live streaming his death.
That's so
He got on a bus and
crazy,
traveled
bro.
to the base of a snow-covered mountain, and then hiked all the way to the top. Once there, he started the stream in the Discord, and at least 29 other members joined to witness it live.
What
Among
the
them,
fuck?
FMLK was there to encourage him and make sure that he followed through. Samuel talked to other members in the audience for
Low-key,
a
you
few
should be
minutes,
high-key,
but
my nigga, that
then he
you're not into
decided
this
it
shit.
was time. He propped up his phone to give a clear view and proceeded to light himself on fire.
What the
As he
fuck?
lay there dying for the next several minutes, the Discord audience reacted in about the most psychopathic way you could possibly imagine.
Okay, shout out to Discord people. Shout out to Xanax. Shout out to 764.
Shout out to everyone. Big shout out to Money and big shout out to FMLK. And we gotta say, he took himself.
Own advancement.
Fuck they shout outs, bro. Fuck them.
Thoroughly in there laughing, and the 764 members sat there celebrating, laughing, and calling it, quote, so funny, until eventually he stopped moving. In their typical sadistic fashion, it appears as though 764 members were thoroughly enjoying this activity. FMLK was heard in the clip giving herself a shout out and ensuring that she would get credit for the incident. She later described how she celebrated Samuel's death as a big moment for her own advancement, saying, quote, I was getting my big break. It was a competition of who could do the worst thing, so obviously I felt very cool. 4 months later, FMLK would go on to claim that she had lured another suicidal girl to the server and similarly convinced her to stream her death. She also admitted to arson, saying that she set fire to a dry grass field that was nearby a rural village and recorded a video of the fire spreading to the nearby buildings. All of these things were archived, shared inside of lorebooks, and used to increase her standing in the comm. When told about the details of his passing, Samuel's mother was obviously very upset and also put some blame on the platform for not taking action. Samuel had posted his plans a full week in advance, so she said, quote, Discord should have been monitoring better. It's all very sad. As a further demonstration of Discord's behavior, FMLK wasn't even banned until 3 years after the incident, and as you all know, she probably just made a new account anyway. Surprisingly, I also could not find any evidence that she was ever charged for any of her actions. As seen here, FMLK agreed to be interviewed by the Post for an article, but only under the condition of anonymity. At the time of recording this video, a developing case on this level is centered around a 20-year-old man from Germany. He allegedly coerced a 13-year-old American boy into killing himself while on a livestream video. Because this case is so new, there is not a lot of detail about what happened, but there does seem to be a lot of evidence against the German man, who was apparently a high-ranking member of 764. When he was arrested, the police found more than 120 hours of graphic images and video material. When viewing this evidence, the investigators were so unnerved by what they saw that they literally had to provide psychological counseling on site to anyone who viewed the material. The livestream regarding the 13-year-old boy is still being investigated, and video evidence is still being reviewed. It's impossible to say exactly how many other people took their lives as a result of 764, but everything I've seen suggests that that number might be pretty high. Yuki, who was mentioned earlier, was allegedly connected to 2 additional suicides. This man was recently sentenced to 6 years in prison after encouraging people to commit, possessing CP, and planning to murder another homeless man. Countless other examples have probably gone undocumented.
Nothing.
As alluded to before,
Asylum.
This was the endgame for 764.
Deadass,
Members
bro.
would progress through the levels
These niggas
until
need the pits of
eventually
hell.
they get pushed to either take their own life, or they did something extreme enough to earn status. Most of them are either still inside the comm, dead, or in prison. Regardless of what path a new member ends up taking though, their journey invariably leads them to some form of nihilistic extremism.
But these niggas need the worst of the worst, bro. Deadass, bro. That ain't my job to hunt these niggas down. But these niggas need the worst of the worst.
I had no other option
And I don't even
but
like
to
putting
give
that
them
on
what they
people.
wanted.
I don't even like
To
putting that
quit,
on people, but these
to
niggas
tap
need the
out.
worst of the worst, bro.
So I thought. I was rescued and I was taught how to fight. Now I will never stop fighting for myself and for others, because I am a survivor and you can be too.
This is sad, bro.
Evolving 764.
It's still
The
going
network
on.
still exists today, and it continues to change
4
as
more
time
minutes.
goes on. It is shocking just how
I'm about to
long
say,
things
there's no
went
way these
on
niggas
before
got
they
more
faced
stories.
any major resistance, but in the past couple of years, the FBI and other international agencies have begun fighting aggressively. Discord finally started banning more people, but unfortunately, as we saw earlier, it's not difficult for them to just make a new account. Discord reportedly banned 34,000 accounts in 2023 alone, and if we extrapolate a little, we can guess that they've now banned probably over 100,000 accounts directly tied to 764.
You my manager?
Discord likes to flex these stats for publicity reasons, but the truth is, their moderation could still definitely be improved. I found this post from just a few months ago where someone said they reported a 764 cut sign, but Discord, quote, decided not to take action on the content you identified. Roblox is also far from bulletproof and has gone through a bunch of scandal regarding predators, but they have started to take action against 764 themed characters and anything.
Yeah, but niggas are still gonna lie regardless, bro. Niggas always be lying about some shit. Niggas always just gonna lie about some shit, bro. Just like how Roblox tried to put an age limit on damn voice shit. I don't know why their starting age would be 13 in the first place, my nigga. But, second of all, you know how niggas be, bro.
With the logo.
You know how niggas be.
As you can see here, one of the characters has the logo, and another one literally contains the words, "I love CP." And I have no idea how this was allowed to be created in the first place. With all of that in mind, none of these platforms are really legally responsible for the actions of their users,
Roblox
and
is just,
therefore they have little incentive to take serious action. It seems like the only real reasons they're trying to do anything is because this type of stuff harms their users and gives them a really bad reputation, especially when people watch videos like this one. Over the past year or two, law enforcement agencies have been putting out a record number of statements that warn parents about the comm and condemn 764 members when they get arrested. These defendants are accused of orchestrating one of the most heinous online child exploitation enterprises we have ever encountered. A network built on terror, abuse, and the deliberate targeting of children. Said Attorney
all in
General
all, everything I learned
Bondi.
from this video,
We
bro.
will find those who exploit and abuse children,
All I know is, me
prosecute
personally,
them,
bro,
and dismantle
I'm
every
growing my
part
kid up
of
on
their
nothing.
operation.
He not getting no
From a
phone.
high level, all
He
of
not
this
getting
attention
internet
has
until he
caused
about
764 to
14
become
and up.
more discreet
I'm
about
not
their
having that nigga
operations.
play no online
But
games
make no
until he
mistake,
about 15 years
764
old.
might be recognized, but they are not defeated. Even
sorry, bro.
after the
And
FBI
they playing straight
executed
offline
hundreds of
story mode
investigations, they
games.
reportedly observed a, quote, sharp increase in 764 and
I'm
related
sorry.
activity. While researching, I found brand new articles about brand new atrocities as recently as a few days ago.
I ain't just gonna let
Each
off
of
and just
these
let my
articles
kids
that you're
do
seeing
any and
now
everything,
has
bro.
been published in the past
No,
month alone. It is insane just how easy it is for any lonely kid to stumble into all of this. But hopefully, the information presented in this video can help someone recognize the warning signs at level 1, or ideally, help someone steer clear from this group entirely. No matter what happens though, do not let them get that first piece of leverage.
And I'ma always instill in their brain, if anything goes on at school, or if anybody's saying anything crazy to them at school, listen, bro, tell me, tell your mother, tell anybody, talk to somebody, the counselor, tell somebody. Don't hold it in and then get online and next you know it's wiring, your whole brain just wired different to fuck the world, and now you're just going deep off into shit like this, bro. No.
Recent video, I took a deep dive into another internet rabbit hole called Sister Hong. If that sounds...
Listen, man. Good informational video, Clayton, or Crichton. Good informational video, man. That shit's so sick, bro. I ain't gonna lie, these dead asses, these gotta be the most sick niggas to ever indulge in the internet, genuinely. The most sick group of niggas that I've ever seen in my life, ever, to get on a platform in the internet. Holy shit, bro.